morning, everybody. This is quite momentous for us at TOR, and we're very happy to welcome our newly minted Minister of State for Energy, Mr. Honorable Herbert Krapah. And with him, I believe I have Deputy MD for NPA, two Deputy MDs for NPA, Mr. Okudzeto and Linda Asante. I did meet Linda for the first time yesterday, and then some directors from both ministries, Ministry of Energy and from the NPA. And yes, we at TOR are very honored, especially myself, that within a very short time that the Minister of State got confirmed, he chose TOR to be his first official working visit. It is quite an honor. It does also speak to his interest and the interest of the nation that TOR must work again. And being a legacy matter, it must work now within the scope of this administration. And for that, we are very grateful. I will quickly sort of announce myself. I am the Managing Director, Mr. Kofi. I have with me my general managers, and I'll go down the line. This is Mr. Acto Anderson, SIRD, Production Manager. Okay. I will let him introduce himself.
Anderson, Acting General Manager of Strategy.
Abraham Question, General Manager of Production.
Julius Ogo, Acting General Manager, Technical Services.
Martin Samaj, GM Finance.
Chado, GM Audit.
Then I'll be acting GM HR.
Mausi Ogu, GM HR and Administration.
These are the members that support the Managing Director in running the affairs of the company on a daily basis. So I would like to, at this point, not speak too much and allow the Minister, who is our special guest of today, so we can hear from him on his remarks for us for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Managing Director. I want to say a very big good morning to all of you, and to say that I am very happy to be with you this morning. I'm excited about the huge entourage that is welcoming me, and I'm looking forward really to spending some time with you here this morning. I've come here in the company of your regulator, of course, the National Petroleum Authority, the Deputy Chief Executives, Mr. Okudzeto and Mrs. Asante, as well as my Deputy Director Petroleum at the Ministry. The Chief Director of the Ministry is on her way, together with a couple more officers, and I also have some officers behind me. Managing Director, you are right. Thank you very much for receiving me. You're right. TOR is the first institution I am visiting since being confirmed as Minister of State. And you are right. It is for strategic reasons. I believe that there is no gainsaying at all that TOR needs all our support. There is no point exaggerating the fact that TOR needs all our attention, and there is also no point emphasizing the fact that we all need to put our hands on deck if TOR will work again. And it is for those reasons that I chose TOR to be my first official work visit to the institutions that work in the energy sector. TOR, as we know, is a strategic asset. TOR has significant potential in the downstream sector, and so it is for many of us a big shame and disappointment that we're not able to get TOR to operate at full capacity and operate for the purpose for which it was set up. I don't think it is late in the day. I've had conversations with His Excellency the President. He doesn't believe it is late in the day, and I'm running on the back of his energy, and that's the reason I chose to start my visits, tours of some of the institutions for me. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the facilities. I'm looking forward to engaging management on what your plans are. I'm quite intimately versed with the issues that TOR has. I believe that finding a strategic partner is really the objective on the horizon. I'm sure while we wait for that, there should be some immediate interventions to prepare us towards that. I don't believe that we should wait around until that event. I am of the conviction that we can work towards that, and I hope that we'll all have that at the back of our minds in the dealings that we engage in today and beyond. So I'm excited to be here. I haven't seen your facilities before. I'm looking forward to seeing them, looking forward to the engagements. I hope that we can, put a plan together and work with all the bodies in TOR. I know that the different bodies in TOR always, sort of have some form of disagreement or the other. I hope that this time we can get everybody on board, management, the board, the unions, so that we can save a lot of time and move forward with revamping TOR. My objective, and you have the full support of government and the ministry, is for TOR to work. My plan is to take that munition on the President, that it is not late in the day for us to get TOR working. So that is my simple mission, although I suspect it is a bit more complicated than I've presented it. We'll not spend too much time between TOR and Sentuo whilst TOR prepares itself. I'm looking forward to hearing from you what your thinking is about that. We need to bring TOR back your CPU first before we move to a catalytic cracker. We need to get your terminal working at full. Always in the country, we know the issues. I suspect also that we know how to get the issues tackled. I think the missing piece should be some leadership, and I hope that working together we can get that those matters resolved. And as I say, let me reiterate again, you have the fullest support of the ministry, and I'm looking forward to us working very closely together to save time. Because I know that when the issues prolong, when the disagreements stretch, what it means is just time that is lost. I hope that we can quickly put those matters behind us and get the low-hanging fruit out of the way while we wait for the partnership that we're looking for capital injection. We're talking essentially about capital, technology, and efficiency. When we diagnose TOR in the end, we're talking capital, technology, and efficiency to get TOR back on track. And I hope that our engagements would bring us closely towards that. I see that the Chief Director of the Ministry we're here to listen to you, to see what you have, and then hopefully we can come around the table to further the discussion. So thank you very much for having me. Good morning, everybody. We take a cue from the Minister's commitment in starting a new journey with TOR. And as a regulator of the downstream, we are ready and willing to provide the necessary support, the necessary guidance, the necessary regulation to make sure that TOR gets up back on its feet. As he said, he's committed to making sure that the transformation begins from now. It's been a couple of years, and we'll provide the necessary support to make sure that whatever is on the horizon, whatever the ministry has in mind, whatever the minister has in mind, and whatever the President of the Republic has in mind comes to fruition. So we're ready to provide the necessary regulatory support. Thank you.
I'm happy about that. Okay, what is the way
And as refinery superintendent, I'm going to conduct you around the bonded area where we have our processing plants and the auxiliaries that support the processing. So we are going to give you, in a form of PP, basic one, helmet and overcoat for now. So I don't know if you can have rough.
the RFCC unit. In fact, the bulk of our LPG generation is from this plant, and essentially high gasoline or petrol, as we may call it, at the pump. You understand? We can do in excess of 94 run, you can imagine, and the market spec is 91. So if this plant, for example, is running, we're able to get so much LPG, so much Mogas grade gasoline, and we do blend it up our margins. Unfortunately, because of the business model we undertook some time ago, we were forced to bring it down. after we had done extensive turnaround maintenance in 2017, we were doing tolling, and the toiler had opted to export the residue, which will be a fee to this. And since then, I think 2019, we have been idle so far as this one is concerned. So that is RFCC, using catalyst and a relatively severe temperatures and pressures to crack it to get more valuables, such as we get from what nature does, and we separate at the CDU. So this is RFCC, Residual Fluidized Catalytic Cracker Unit. That's it. We commissioned it in 2002, and we have essentially run it successfully until we brought it to a halt, as I said, somewhere in 2019, due to the business model at the time. And since then, it has not come on stream. So the management has a plan that after we have started this one, the CDU, and of course we have made some revenues here and there, then we will come back and visit the RFCC. So that is RFCC. If there's no question, we turn to this one. This is the crude distillation unit on your left, and I suppose you can see a structure. There's a white tank with some kind of X mark in it. Yes. On the right hand side of that tank is what we call the premium forming unit and the naphtha hydrotreating unit. In fact, if you add it to the one on the left side, which is the crude distillation unit system, then you get what we call hydroskimming unit. And I indicated briefly in the car that as of now, the PRF-PLT, in quote, is white elephant. And I explained briefly that, again, business model, we were running it and I was part of the team, but we of course we shut it down because of some kind of arrangement with the TOR. And since then, we have not run it. So management has an answer to it. They are coming up with modalities on how to bring resurrect it. Okay. And then the CDU. The CDU, built by the Italians, as I said, 28,000 barrels per stream day. We are running it, and when the national demand of petroleum fuel went up, we decided to take advantage and rebound and expand it. So we moved it from 20 to 45,000 as of now, but for some few stretches, few one, maybe 3 out of the major components. But for them, we can be bragging to you that we are at 60,000 barrels per day. And of course, majority of the projects are open, but there are few critical ones that ought to be the bottleneck before we can move to the system. So as of now, I can say for now, again, it's not running. No, it's not broken. We were running it. And as I said, it depends on the business model at the time. You're actually doing tolling, and the tolling agreement port and the conversation around it, I think for now should be beyond me. You understand? And as a result, we caused it to be shut down. For how long now? Since 2021. I think April there about 2021. You understand?
3 years now.
Yes. So there's an active plan and championed by the able managing director of TOR now. I think it's one of the finest to me we have had. I'm not flattering him, but he has given his outlook, he has given his plans to us, and to me it looks fantastic. Let's hope for the best. So what we're trying to do is to bring it back. How will it will still remain at 45 for now? You understand? When we get it, it's like a baby, we get it running, and we are entering into conversation for more injection to come and support. It may rapidly come. So that is it. Okay, so like I said, I think I have to clarify this. This one is made up of integration of various critical components. Among them is the crude heater or furnace. One of them got exploded, I think, in 2017 or 2018. There are 17, and we are fixing it with a like for like. We have gone for a new one. The structure there with that provision. See this one. Yes, we call it, we have two good heaters. We have the F1, which was installed by the Kenyans in 1963. And we have this F2. But when we're doing the revamping from 28 to 45, then we caused it to be. But unfortunately, there was an incident. And that one led to the scrapping of that one. And we are reinstalling another one. It is about 95% conversion. But the strategy currently is that we will take off with what we have because the F1 is okay, it's on standby. So we take off with that, and as time by and by, we integrate the two so that we can up our game. All right, that is about TRF. These are all surveyed, and beyond this, but the add-on, let's complement the plan for you to get the refining total. So we have our utility session where we have our steel plant. Some few, maybe 100 or 150 liters from Paris. The lab was functioning when we were running the plant, but amidst some challenges. So I can tell you for a fact that admitted we have issues. But there has been an advanced conversation. I think SGS or one are coming on board to retool it for us. But some of the basic things we ought to do, thus far they have been striving. If you go and see the way chemists and engineers are, synergizing the ideas together to come up with accurate analysis, you will love it. For sure, it is for both controlling the processing plant and also receipt of third parties products and analyze for them first. Come on. So that one, those conversations, other ways we do. Okay, so that's the utility session. We have boilers for steam. We have firefighting, you see hydrocarbon, highly flammable. So we have just covered virtually everywhere we ought to cover. I think what dated by the ability to run up the completion of all the different TOR is also important. It's an undeniable fact. You cannot succeed without that synergy. Admittedly, silosing had been practiced, and I think that's why I'm not flattering our boss. Since he came, he is trying to unify all forces. And let's see how an opening is the same to a first approximation, no. Okay, so please, that's about it. We be in the bus, we tour the tank farm, and then to the utilities, and of course to the loading country. Okay, in the Kripik area. And the lab, I want to see the lab. Yes. But I want to see the lab. Okay, I will go to the
Imagine the revenue that we generate support that to this is obviously like the other side. Yes.
Thank you. The minister says we will be there soon.
The lab that sustains you One of the things as part of the terminal business. Try to include everybody 100%. Thank you. Well done. Well done. You see a lot more. Thank you.
the CDU, the catalytic cracker. I mean, TOR has everything that is required of a modern refinery and the different grades of products, all the way to gasoline, LPG, naphtha, gas oil, ATK. It has the capacity to bring out all of these products. It has very essentially the biggest country that we have in this country. It has very importantly the biggest storage facilities that we have in this country. It has the pipelines. It also has a laboratory which essentially all downstream players are utilizing, although it is not, at full capacity. It's operating between 30 to 40%. It makes money for TOR. And I've signaled to the managing director and the team. As you can see, I pulled a surprise visit to the laboratory. It wasn't part of my schedule, but because I believe it is the lowest hanging fruit. As things stand now, the lab still makes TOR some money. So why don't we immediately find a way to get some injection in? That turning around the lab won't take more than a month or two, so that at least we know that the lab is working at full capacity and bringing some money in immediately. Of course, the bigger conversation is the strategic investor. And I've said time and again, this investor is really coming in to provide liquidity support, to bring in capital, because you have seen as we went around that in spite of the plant sitting idle for the most part, there are some parts of it that can start running today. Of course, you can see also that there are parts that need some work to bring up. So the strategic investor is really going to come in to bring in investment, retool, some of the parts of the plant, bring in some new equipment, and start the plant from whether 25,000 or 45,000, but start the plant. And of course, we also have Sentuo just next door where I'm going next. We saw that Sentuo is utilizing TOR's biggest crude storage facilities. We need to, while we're still trying to bring TOR up, we need to get Sentuo to work more closely with TOR. It hurts nothing. If TOR is operating at full capacity, Sentuo is operating at full capacity, we have a whole domestic demand and export market to attend to. I don't see at all any reason why there should be any friction between TOR and Sentuo for nothing at all. There should be a deeper understanding of how the facilities of TOR and Sentuo can be complemented for the consumer and for the Ghanaian economy.
Talking about the strategic investor, Have you found one already? And if we found out, how much money are we talking about in terms of investing to bring back TOR?
I am briefed by the managing director that the engagement is going well. There was a process of selection, procuring the strategic investor. I'm briefed by the managing director that a company has been selected, or they are in the process of concluding the selection process. I believe TOR will defer that to TOR to speak to when they are ready to announce who has won and how much this contract entails. You know, their value for money processes, there's all sorts of procurement, regulatory, legal processes that need to be completed before TOR, working with the ministry, can announce the full details of that partnership. And when that time comes, I'm sure that TOR managing director and the ministry would make that known.
Very aptly said. We are completing the negotiation process and the discussions, all following all the procedural guidelines that we need to follow to make that right. So at the right time, when it's all done and we are within our regulatory framework, we will share the details of it to the public.
As a managing director, how would you describe the current state of Tema Oil Refinery?
Well, Tema Oil Refinery is a work in progress, okay? And with anything that's a work in progress, it only improves and gets better over time. And it requires certain things to be covered and certain KPIs to be met for that to be a full functional situation. So at the moment, we are working towards revamping and getting our CDU back on stream. And once that comes back on stream, we'll begin production. And through that production process, which is refining, we'll be back to business as usual. And then we'll sort of continue to build that work in progress towards to our FCC, our new 8-ton, 120-ton boiler, and take it from there.
When should we see TOR back working?
Well, we have sort of a KPI indicator for the next 3 months, and we are looking forward to making sure that within the next 3 months we'll have TOR, the CDU, revamped and fully functional.
So it's a good headline to say in 3 months that TOR will be back to working.
It's a working timeline.
You know, let me tell you.
I specifically say that.
Let me tell you that
in the revamping process, there's something called lead times when you have to procure certain parts and certain equipment, and that lead time can change from time to time. So even though it is within our framework to have a 3-month dynamic, which we have set right now because of what we see and what we're doing, we could have delays in lead times, and that lead time can affect that timeline. But with all that being equal, I think it's a good schedule to have.
What I have seen, that I would hold them to this 3-month timeline and even work day and night with TOR and the Ministry of Finance to ensure that we expedite this 3-month timeline. It is, you are seeing, it is an asset that is sitting largely idle. And as I said in the earlier debriefing, I am riding on the back of the energy of His Excellency the President when he spoke to me and said that he does not believe that it is too late to get TOR working, and the assurance and the commitment we make to the Ghanaian people is that within the
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more updates.